What up, everybody? Big D coming to you from the 505 Summer Lounge, aka the Sweatshop. Welcome to the show tonight. Excited for tonight's show. We'll get into that here in just a moment. But want to remind everybody out there that this is my brand new product sponsor out there, Zyphy Cigar Accessories. Yes, you've seen the videos I've posted. They've been awesome in sending me stuff, and I've got something special for some of you guys coming up here shortly with a collaboration I'm doing with Zyphy. So get over to ZyphyCigarAccessory.com. Use promo code 505CR when you check out. That'll save you some coinage. Also, Zyphy wants you to be on the lookout in October on their Amazon page as well as their website. They got a massive sale that's going down. So that's going to be able to save you even more money. And if you use that promo code in October with that already discounted rate they're offering you, you're going to save even more money. So keep that in mind. So tonight, we're going alternative with what we're doing smoking. We're not going cigar wise tonight. We're going deep into the ganja, to the cannabis side of things. Got a great brand coming on who's I've been really impressed talking with these guys, with the brand owner about. I'm excited to have it on. I don't know anything there is to know about the Mary Jane out there, but I have a special co-host tonight, somebody who is a professional stoner, somebody who understands that world 110%. She's my on again, off again, on again, off again, on again, off again girlfriend / baby mama. I bring on the one, the only Key.
Hello, guys. Hello. It's me, Key, the one and only. I'm just here just to see what we got going on today and what we're gonna smoke.
Excellent. So you're a professional stoner, as you would put it, correct?
Correct.
And you have a love for the ganj.
I do.
Since I've known you, you've kind of introduced me a little bit, although I don't partake. But yeah, it has piqued my interest, especially with how the blending, the cultivating, and how they create the process. For me, coming onto the cigar side of things, I have a real appreciation for that. So was good. So tonight our guest is going to be Michael Brown from the MaryBrand. He's a cannabis educator. He is also a person whose brand also sells cannabis related gifts out there. And we're going to talk more about cannabis. Key's going to get blazed on the product. She'll let you know how awesome the product is. And for those of you in the chat, if you have any cannabis related questions, please put it in there because we have two experts on tonight who can answer those questions. So here we go. Let's bring on the one, the only Michael Brown from the MaryBrand. Welcome, sir.
Hey, brother. How are you doing?
Good.
I got to say, that was the most awesome introduction of anyone for Key. That was awesome.
Oh, good. You know, I put it, you know, well, how else you put it out there? Hey, we're on again, off again, on again, off it. You could do that for the last 3 years. And then you just add that / baby mama in there, and that just kind of, you know, boom. Well, I'm glad to have you on. We have a couple samples here that Key is going to partake in. And she's super excited because, man, she has been licking her chops to smoke these.
Nice. Well, I appreciate it, man. It's so great to be on. It's great to talk about everything cigars and cannabis. I mean, I love it. I've seen you on Instagram for a while now, and I love it's very real, very raw. Like, this is what we're talking about. I love that always, and especially, being a cigar smoker myself, and then getting into cannabis a little bit. Like, it's been amazing. It's a great journey. It's tough, but it's a great journey.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. So how are you all doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great, Key.
I'm doing fantastic. Ready to taste your blends to see what you have.
Excellent.
All right.
Excellent. So let me hand it over. I forgot. Camera goes backwards on this side. Let me hand it over to you to talk about you, your brand, what it is that you do, and your experience in that. While I find my cigar.
Yeah, not a problem. Not a problem. So I'm the founder of the MaryBrands, and what we do is we're basically the 1-800 flowers for cannabis gifts, for occasions, for weddings, events, and just like celebrations, right? So we really focused on a lot of stuff that's beyond the high. So we focus on topicals, we focus on health and wellness and things like that. So lotions, oils, balms, bath soaps, etc. But one of the things, just being a cigar smoker, I have an absolute love for cigars. There's nothing better than hanging out with your friends and just taking that moment and having a cigar. So when I started the MaryBrands, I actually started the cigar brand, which is called Bogies. And I just have this is just like a box of just so everybody can see it. It's Bogies, so bogiescigars.com. I have a love for just the cigar, but what I realize is that everybody, and see, D, I love the fact that how you're lighting your cigar right now. When I light the cigar, that you will see. Okay, so I love I love cigars, and I love just how they feel and what the whole like culture around it. Absolutely. Oh, I saw you. Yeah, I saw you. You were talking about that in the last couple of lives, right?
Yes, my M16 lighter.
It's very nice, very nice. I got here. This definitely less formidable. This is my wife's lighter. So, but yeah. So when I came up with the idea of the MaryBrands, I said, look, I gotta have a cigar. I gotta have, but I just didn't want a blunt, like a normal, a blunt. That's fine. I wanted something that you could smoke. Yeah, smoke like a cigar, or you could smoke like a blunt, depending upon how you want it. So let's just get into it. And Key, I know, I'm sorry, just had to give the intro.
All right, so I'm gonna hand those over to her now. Are you? Oh boy, she snatched those out of my hand. So do you recommend? I do see that it does have a cap off on the tip on it. Do you recommend that she use a cutter on that?
No. So yeah. So what you do is which one you want to do, Key? You want to do this is hemp paper. This one that's here in the green, that's actually hemp paper. And then in the brown, that way, the brown is raw paper. So I prefer the hemp paper just because it gives more of a cigar feeling to it. But if you like blunts and that's kind of how you like to smoke, we'll go with the raw paper. It's up to you. Okay.
Well, let me try the hemp for tonight.
Okay. Yes, because there is another night. There's always another night. So here's the thing. Like a cigar, this is going to take you at least an hour and a half to go through. Right? So you go through slow. Take your time, go through slow. It burns very nicely. So as you see, you take off the top.
Oh, look at that. Ah, look at that. How's that smell?
So it smells just like cannabis.
Everything.
Say again?
I said you have the little weed nugs falling now, little seasonings. All you gotta do.
Absolutely. Seasoning. Smell this. So this is all, organically grown, hand rolled. No machine rolling here. This is an absolute. We really pride this 40 gauge. As I said, it'll take you at least an hour and a half to take it. You want to take your time.
Well, it's interesting. I really expected this glass container to have that marijuana aroma to it, and it does not.
No, it's because of the way we'd spent a lot of times trying to find the right tubes, trying to find the right casing, and we're not finished with it. Obviously, it's really the humidor. So we created basically we had to figure out having the cork with the moisture pack, so it gives just enough breathing room. Right, because you want it you want it moist, but you don't want it too moist. You want it to give, but you want it to, you know, be a little bit dry so it burns evenly.
All right, there you go. I
Right.
hand
So
that back to her so she can do her seance.
so Key, as you can see, taking the tip in your mouth, you can like just pull on it. It will, you can kind of taste the flavor a bit.
Ooh.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
So sorry.
You might be. Yeah,
Chop it, side it. What way we need to cut it so we can go ahead and light it?
don't even need to cut it. So you should be able to. So obviously you want to do. You want to do the tip side right here, right with the little nipple,
Yes.
and you should be okay that way. If by chance you don't get a good enough pull, what I always suggest doing is getting a toothpick. It's a simple toothpick, and just widening that hole just a little bit, right? So it's kind of like it's my version of a punch,
Okay.
right? You don't want to go too far in because you know you don't want to.
No, but I do have my tools here.
Yeah.
So there you go. I hand you my roofing nail nubber.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just give it, open it up just a little bit, and then of course, like any cigar, you know, different than a cigar, you can't bite on it, right? So that's the one little difference. Can't bite on it, but you know, it's still a beautiful smoke, and you'll see that as we get through it.
Let me see your gun. I'd like to do the gun.
All right, there you
So
go.
we got the gun. Yeah, we got the gun. So yeah, exactly as Dee was doing it, you want to just like you just want to kind of play with the end, and as you'll see, like the other side is starting to smoke a little bit. It gives you just the right. You don't want to do too far. You know, you don't want to do too far in terms of burning it. Just get a nice little ring to it. And then there you go.
Oh man.
I'll leave that there because
Yeah.
you probably need to relight.
Yeah, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't, you know, but it's as you'll see, it's a smooth smoke. I really tried to get it as close to a cigar from a cigar smoker, you know, close to a cigar as possible.
You did eat out. Sorry, you did yourself with the hemp. I can tell you that.
Go ahead. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it. You about to be on again, D.
Very nice. I'm sorry if you guys can't hear me. I am going robotic.
Yeah, and so you know, I go in and out. Like sometimes I inhale.
Smoothly hitting too. When I'm inhaling, it's smooth. There's no harshness
Nice.
of like the backlash of the texture or the taste.
Beautiful. It's good.
Good.
Good. And how's the burn? How you feeling with the burn? Does it feel smoky or does it?
I wouldn't say smoky. It burns smooth and slow. It's not too bad. I'm like, man.
Now imagine just sitting back, watching a game, or just sitting out by a lake, just smoking a cigar that's made of weed.
That's really question what you smoking.
Yeah, exactly. And you're like, I'm just smoking a cigar.
A cigar.
Yeah,
it definitely. I you know the aromatics on that are really nice. Definitely does not come across with that weedy smell.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if she told me she was smoking a cigar, I would almost believe it.
Yeah, that's good. I appreciate that.
The aroma's fantastic on that. So that, I mean, kudos. So you know, you wanna smoke and hide something from the popo. I mean,
yeah, right.
Yeah.
You know, now I mean, you're in Colorado. You're in Colorado, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, in New York, you know, you got it all over the place.
It is all over the place. Oh, you got the coffees going.
Uh-oh. Took it. got excited.
expecting that one.
Ah.
Nice.
So that's interesting. You know, I've always been fascinating, especially, you know, because when I was growing up, weed definitely doesn't smell or taste like it does now
Yeah.
on it. So I'm completely into the cultivating and the blending process of how they do that now.
Yeah.
So you know, I'm assuming you took somewhat of a similar process into the blending process on this to kind of to really take out that weediness and to provide more of a cigar feel to it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, it's like how when cigars like want to have more of a coffee fit taste to it, right? You integrate the leaves with coffee, and you make, you give it that extra layer. And so that's kind of what we did. We put like botanicals into it, right? So
Okay.
it was, and it just gives you this different sense of feeling. And there's no tobacco, right? There's no tobacco at all. No tobacco at all. So it
Wow.
is, yeah, it's 100% made from cannabis.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask too, because, man, I would recommend this highly.
Hey,
I like
there
that.
you go. You heard it from a stoner.
I know, yeah, we got it. We got it. We
'Cause,
got it.
like, with an actual blend, like, if it's like
Mhm.
hybrid, sativa, indica, things like that. But when it comes to like a hemp plant and like weed itself,
Yeah.
that changes the ball game.
Yeah.
People don't
Yeah.
understand that. Like they like to mix their strands, or they're like, oh, I like indica to go to sleep, or sativa to be active, or hybrid to just be mellow. No,
Yeah.
this I feel great. I'm
Good.
relaxed. I don't feel sleepy, but I feel like I'm having a good time. I'm chilling. Like I'm at the lake. I'm at
There you go.
with my friends somewhere. I'm chilling.
And that's what you want, right? I mean, like, that's the greatest thing about smoking a cigar. I mean, it's the whole experience. Like when Dee was lighting his cigar, it's like, you take your time, you take it, you're not, it's no rush. A cigarette, I used to smoke cigarettes. I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. But cigarette, it's quick. It's in and it's out, right? A cigar is like, it's a whole experience, and you're just kind of chilling. But we really tried to focus on, like, what's the experience? What's the experience that you want? If you're at a wedding, and you're hanging out with your buddies, and you're like, all right, there's a cigar bar, but what about if there was a cannabis cigar bar? That's like this, right? Where you're not getting high, you're just mellowing out, just like you would normally do at any wedding. Well, maybe not mellowing out,
It would
but
be a good wedding present.
I don't know. I don't know what wedding is.
That's all she's gonna ask for is cannabis. That's all she's like. Don't I get money and weed, please? That's right. Uh, I get it, but we all have the routines that we do when we're light up. Whether
Yeah.
I look, I know I have a routine I have when I light a cigar. I've seen her routine she goes through when she lights up a blunt, or when she's rolling her own out there. She's got a routine, and it's just how kind of gets us in that mood, that vibe for the anticipation of what's to come. So
Yeah, man.
it's one of those things that I think it's undershadowed a lot out there is your routine to get into the smoke.
Yeah. What is your routine? What's your routine?
My routine, so I give the cigar a good once over. I give it the love eyes because
Yeah, yeah. You like, hey, baby.
what's up, girl? How you doing? Yeah, I give it the love eyes. I give it a little once over. Then I decide which cut I'm gonna go with.
Yeah.
How do I want to go? Am I going to go with a V cut, standard V, crown cut, straight cut? What am I going to do? And then after I get my cut, I check my draw. After I get the cut, make sure I got a good draw
Yep.
coming from the cigar. And then I pull out the lighter and I get I get ready to go. Start off with the nice little toasting of the foot. Get those flavors coming. What am I going to expect aromatics wise? And then I start in on the light. And then
Yeah.
from there, I'm just going to enjoy this delicious treat of fermented plant matter.
Yeah. What are you smoking right now?
So I am smoking the Rosewood 1923 from Black Star Line Cigars.
Nice. Very
Um,
nice.
Eric is a great buddy of mine. This is a collaboration stick he did with James Brown at Oveja Negra there
Yeah.
in Nicaragua.
Uh-huh.
Fantastic stick. It is definitely right now in my top 3 cigars of the year for this year.
Nice. You ever have a situation where, like, I was at a cigar bar with a buddy of mine, and I said to I was about to call him a bud tender. I said to the cigar, aficionado there, I said, look, pick me something. I want something light. I want blah blah blah. And he picked me on something, and now I didn't write down. I didn't take the wrap. I didn't take the wrap with the ring, and I didn't take it with me. And it's like it was one of those cigars where I was like, I'm not even smoking this thing. You know what I mean? It was just like so. It was just so easy to smoke. It was green too, which was crazy because I thought
Also
it was
has a
weed.
Candela.
Yeah, it maybe. I don't know. Like it was just beautiful, man. It was like I gotta find that. I'll have to send you a DM on that because my buddies, he's like, yeah, I gotta go back to this place because I've been to places in the city and it doesn't seem like anybody's got this. I was like, I don't know. It could have been house rolled. It could have been who knows. But
Yeah, when you got a good tobacconist that's working a shop that can fit you with the perfect cigar, it
yeah,
just makes that experience at a lounge so much better.
oh, absolutely, absolutely.
And it's kind of the same thing with the bud tenders. When we
Yep,
go into a dispensary there, and I am definitely not acute to the world out there, but I do have an understanding of body and strain, from the cigar background. 22
yeah,
years of smoking, I have picked up one or two things out there. But, a good bud tender definitely, when I tell them what I'm looking for, because she tells me what she wants and then I go and pick it up
right.
out there, a good bud tender will fit you with what you're looking for. And I'm assuming that they've tried the product, they know what it is they're recommending, so that way you can, that way you're getting fit, with something that may not be too strong or something that's definitely full body but light on the strength,
Right. Yeah.
So
No.
it's almost the same process. I
Yeah.
think I look at it as the same process.
Yeah. No, it is right because I mean that's what we're trying to do at the MaryBrands, right? We're trying to like look at this from the standpoint of, this is everyday stuff. Cannabis isn't like a special occasion thing. I mean, we're introducing it in that way, but if you look at like how's Key doing? Is she still going?
She's still good. When you said it's not a special occasion thing, she goes, "Yeah, it's not." She agreed. She said, it's not a special occasion.
It's an everyday thing. No, it is. I mean, and it should be, right? It's like taking vitamin C. You're taking your vitamin W.
Exactly.
You
Medicine. And a lot of people too do like medical.
What do you want me to do? The cat? Okay. There you go. Yeah, like later in the evening, when I get off of work and she gets the baby down, we'll come out here. She blazes and
Yeah.
I smoke a cigar, and that's just kind of our chill time together.
Yeah, exactly. And everything gets quiet. You're able to just think for a little bit. But you talked about like the bud tenders. I mean, education is the key to like the cannabis industry, period, right? I mean, for it to really, really, get the seat at the table that I believe it deserves, it's going to be education because, and yes, it does start with the bud tenders. It starts with, folks like myself at the MaryBrands, doing that. But it's like, look, man, you gotta education and talking about, it's not about how much THC it has. That is important at times. But it's like, well, what else? What are what are the CBD, CBG, CBN? Like there's 1,001 that are out there, right? That can do a variety of things. Like CBD is for chill, CBN CBN is for like sleep, CBG CBG is for, you know, uplifting. You know, there's all these different cannabinoids that, you know, I think I know that education is the critical part of that, right? Changing that mentality. And yeah, it does start with the bud tenders, but you know, us at the MaryBrands, we're trying to do that as well, right? Because out of all the things that we have, you know, it's not a lot of stuff that we have that will quote unquote get you high, right? It's there for a specific purpose. You want to go to sleep, you need a good night's sleep. We have amazing gummy candies, right? Candies that help you sleep, that help you relax, help you chill, right? Your cigars. I mean, this will help you sleep, help you chill. I guarantee you, Key, after you're finished, you will have a great night's sleep.
I plan on it because this is phenomenal. And even like some people with the weed that I smoke, they usually like, oh, you have to have like a whole bunch of weed. You have to stack your blunts. You have to put a whole bunch in there. It has to be like 18%, 27%, 53%, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But I tell them, you're going to get high either way. Weed is weed. You're not going to get higher than what you're already higher are. It doesn't make sense.
Right.
So.
And the question is like, is high just the goal, right? Like when you have a drink, is the goal to only get drunk?
No.
Is it?
Right?
It's not. Miss Michelle from Cigars with M. What's up, girl?
Hello, hello.
Glad to see you. She's my crush. If you see, we usually roll the events together. You know, go. I'm her bodyguard.
I love that.
Well, I agree. You know, there's a certain level out there where I think that's the misconception, which is that people think, well, if I smoke more of this, it's going to get me higher, or if I smoke this cigar, you know, the vitamin N is going to be heavier. But without, you know, there's this. One, how's your body going to react to it? Right. And two, what is your ultimate goal you're trying to get from the smoke, whether it be from cannabis or whether it be from tobacco?
Right. Exactly. And yeah, I agree with you, man. I mean, you know, it's not about just getting high all the time, right? I mean, like, you know, I say very simply, I got shit to do in the morning, right? Like I got shit to do in the morning, so I can't like get high all the time.
Yes.
Right? Right? But I mean, I could definitely, you know, get relaxed. The kids get to bed. It's time to now, you know, you said it, like you put the kids to bed and you're like, oh my God, I need to just relax. I'm losing.
Yeah, I think, you know, there's just something about, I think part of it is psychosomatic in your head because it's a time you can let go and relax, but you're also taking in something that's going to help induce that relaxation just a little bit more.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about smoking, the hobby, the craft.
Yeah.
The people, is that I can smoke a cigar and have a great time, and I can relax and laugh and bullshit, and it doesn't have to be serious out there
at all.
Oh, celebrity alert, Mr. Raymond Kane from the Cigar Clowns. What is going on, sir? Glad to see you. And if anybody just coming in out here, man, we've got Mr. Michael Brown, the owner of the MaryBrands, a cannabis-based gifting and education company. And we've got Key right there. She's above me. Professional stoner / on again, off again, on again, off again, gal / baby mama.
Still the best introduction ever.
I think it's a great introduction. Here's a point. I like it. So you put the focus on not really, because I look at your here, not going overly heavy with the THC.
Yeah. Yeah.
on it. So that was basically designed. You were going more for the flavor aspect of the
That's right.
smoke than you were, again, the vitamin N or the
Yeah.
nicotine level like in a cigar.
Yeah.
You're same process, correct?
Yeah. Exact same process. Because, look, this is 10 grams, right? This is 10 grams of cannabis. This is 10 grams. Yeah. Thank you. This is 10 grams, right? I mean, if you did 10 grams in a sitting of, like, let's just say 18 to 20%, THC, there is nothing that you're going to do at all throughout that entire experience, right? But you and I are having a conversation. Key is chiming in, and it's like you can have a conversation, right? You still. I mean, you tell me, how are you feeling now, Key? Because we've been into it for a little bit.
Well, what I can say is it's very mellow, smooth. I have like a little tingling feeling on my tongue, but it's very nice. And it's still burning smoothly and slow, so we're doing good.
Doing good. That's good. Yeah. So
Very nice.
you can still be social with it, right? But you're right, D. Yeah. We focused on the experience. That's really what we're focused on, the experience. We want our customers to have a similar experience to cannabis. I mean, sorry, to having a tobacco cigar, right? We want you to have the same experience, right? You can just relax. You can hang out. If you want, we do have different grades, and this is more of the mellow, just because I always say, start slow and low, right? It goes up from there. I gave you two mellows, so start slow and low. And then you can obviously upgrade, but we don't want to go beyond a certain point, right? Like, there's actually, I had one of my favorite cigars, and I know this is, some people down me for this, is a Connecticut Nub. I absolutely love it. What?
It's a great cigar.
It's just so, I mean, it's like the Budweiser of cigars. I mean, maybe not the Budweiser cigar, but like it's that's a little bit, that's like offensive to them, but not Budweiser. That's offensive to Olivia, right? But it's like just so easy to smoke. You're at the right point in the cigar. You just get into it, like you're in that great mushy area, that mushy feeling of when you are within the cigar. So that's, those are like my inspirations of, like, yeah, like where do you start where everything is really good?
Yeah, exactly. So was there a reason why you went with the Corona size on your stick?
Yeah, so I looked at it and said, I need to have the feel in between the fingers, right? I need to have
Yeah.
that feel, that enough of a girth, but knowing that this is cannabis, I need to, I can't go too. Yeah, you go. What's the Robusto is the next size up, I believe, right? It's, you go too big, then it just becomes a waste, right? Because I want you to smoke this. I want you to feel good enough that you smoke it pretty well down, because it's this. Because the thing is, this is all 100. The whole length of it is cannabis. There's nothing. There's no filler, no nothing. So you could technically, if you get down to, let's say, here, you could technically grind it up and put it into a joint and keep going.
You can give her an idea.
I was gonna do that already.
Like I can tell her enjoyability factor on this.
Right.
Because since she lit it, she's had nothing but a smile on her face.
That's good, man.
I can tell, and like she said, she's picking up, she's get this tingliness on her tongue that she's enjoying.
Yeah. Yeah, we tried to make it just right.
Yeah, I think that's right, and I like it. Like I said, I would never know she's smoking weed. I would
Yeah.
not know that, just based upon what I'm smelling in the aromatics in the room. When I smelled the tubo here,
Yep.
I had no clue. I'd have no clue. Like if she went
Yeah.
into a lounge and lit that up, I don't think anybody would probably question that's what she was smoking, just because it does not look,
Yeah.
does not feel, and does not smell like
Yeah.
regular cannabis.
No, and that's that. Yeah, and that, you know, again, it's like, and I know, look, to all the hardcore, you know, cigar smokers out there, like, you know, you're part of my tribe as well, right? Because I love cigars. I love going to cigar lounges. I have a couple that I go to that are just like, you know, these are my happy places in life, right? This is like when you know, I just need to get away from the family for a minute, and you know, and just relax. But you know, I always ask people, like, you know, just try a cannabis cigar, you know, and the thing is, what we did with ours is you don't have to inhale. That's like, you don't have to. If you want to, that's fine. But it was built so that you could do either, right? Occasionally, I mean, hell, I know sometimes, you know, when I first started smoking cigars, I would absolutely inhale a little bit, right? You know, I mean, you know, but you don't have to. You don't have to with this cigar. You can just have it. You can just smoke it exactly like a cigar, or you can have it, you know, like a joint or a blunt, whichever
Yeah,
one.
I guess yeah, I'm thoroughly impressed. You know, looking at it, and the construction on that looks phenomenal.
Thank you. Yeah,
Um, from what I, looking at her, I keep looking at her when she's holding it out, just seeing the construction. It's got such a laser burn on it too. Like that burn is cherry.
yeah. We see like this.
I'm gonna
Gotta love that.
ash to it too.
You want to
Yeah,
leave a
hold up the ash to the camera. Yeah, look at that.
yeah,
Yeah, look at
man.
that.
All right, all
Yeah, there
right,
you
all
go.
right. There you go.
Yeah.
It's
There
almost
you go.
done.
There you go.
Yeah, I got it. So, how long did it take you when you decided that this was a concept that you had to actually get it going?
So I probably since the beginning of this year, right? I've been in cannabis, you know, in a variety of ways, but in terms of like a cigar product and like a more sophisticated product like this, it really took me, you know, since the beginning of the year, like just really looking at different strains, looking at different casings, right? Looking like, I mean, to say the least, R&D in this. I did a lot of R&D, basically surrounding, you know, smoking a lot of weed. Um,
Yeah, tough.
it's hard. It's a hard life, man.
Hard. I mean,
It's hard.
it's a tough job. Somebody's got to do it.
I volunteer.
And you volunteered yourself as tribute.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you know, it took a minute. It took a minute just to, you know, just to like really figure it out, right? Because I mean, I say with the burn, right? You want a nice burn. You want a slow burn. You don't want it to. It's not like a, you know, simple rolling paper, right? That's not what this is. You know, it's like you know. So there's a lot that we went into. How much are we packing in? How are we packing in? You know, going through the grind size and all that. I mean, we really had to work through the process, and you know, we believe that, you know, we got it. We got a nice.
And Ray brings up a good question on
Mhm.
here. You know, him as a brand owner and
Yeah.
everything he's got to deal with, and within the industry, fighting within the industry on there, that cigars do tend to get grouped in with vapes and cannabis
Yeah.
flavored tobaccos that really have nothing to do with the premium cigar
Yep.
side of things on this. It's not something that he feels he could get behind on that, and just then, how that it, just don't know what the market share is in premium tobacco. So, that's a really good question on there, because you have designed something that has the look, the feel, the smoke of
Mhm.
a premium cigar
Yeah.
in it, but it is not a premium tobacco product. So, how would you answer that question?
Yeah. So let me just so I am appalled at how, you know, the government has constantly done these huge umbrellas of like, you know, of a variety of things, right? Like cigars, cigarettes, you know, vapes, etc. Like, I don't understand how vapes are part of cigars, or cigars are part of vapes. Right? That makes no sense to me. It makes absolutely no sense to me. They're just two very different physical products. Period. Right? So I'm outraged. I mean, we go through this in the cannabis industry in terms of, and especially if you're in cannabis marijuana versus cannabis hemp. It's like, where are you going with this? Like, you're just grouping things in so you don't have to do more paperwork, right? So, and forgive me if I'm not answering specifically what the question is. I want to answer the question specifically. I would say that, this to me is kind of like an extension of a tobacco cigar, right? I don't want to say it's the next. It's definitely not the evolution. There's a bunch of evolutions, I think, that have happened in terms of gauge size, length, light smoke versus a more robust smoke. All those things, I think, are part of the innovation that happened within cigars. But I would say that, for Ray and with, other cigar owners or cigar brands, I am also appalled because we get dragged in to something that we meaning cannabis owners, cannabis brand owners, we don't even understand how we're part of that conversation, right? To some degree. Yes, we're all smoking products, but there's a very key difference between a tobacco cigar and cannabis and vapes. And I really hate the fact, I really do hate the fact that vapes are thrown in to everything, or everything is under a vape. I mean, a vape is a liquid turned into a gas, right? That's what a vape is. This and a tobacco cigar are, is not liquid turned into gas. It's a solid, you could say, turned into a gas in some ways, right? So unfortunately, I don't have a solution for it. I don't have, I don't have, like, obviously the answer for it, but I am also, so I hear what Ray's saying. Like, I'm also very upset at, like, we just get grouped into these stupid categories that don't make any sense.
Yeah, I agree. And one thing that a few people hit me up on is, why are you promoting out there drugs? And I go, well, first off, stoners, the cannabis community, is part of the smoking community, and my show is to showcase the smoking community. Although it tends to be geared towards cigars and pipes, the occasional rollie out there, I still think that it's important, because I think there are a lot of people out there who enjoy smoking, and like yourself, enjoy smoking both cigars and cannabis, as well as people like Key, who, she's not a cigar person, as much as I tried to get her into smoking cigars, just wasn't for her, but she enjoys the camaraderie of chilling out here with me smoking. It's something that we can do together, that we have a shared interest in the craft, the hobby of smoking. And I consider you, and look, those of you in the chat, you can say I'm wrong, but I do consider the premium cannabis community,
Thank you,
not the plug on the street, street corner. Okay, the premium cannabis community, to really, they're little brothers of what we are out there. There is a spot, there's a place for them. But when it comes down to it, when you enjoy smoking, whether it be cigars or cannabis or pipe or rollies, we're all one community. It's just we're on different levels and different layers on that, within that community. And I think that there's an important place for that premium cannabis community to be in. Look, you've got your own spot and your own floor, and hey, you're there, but you're gonna have some crossover. And between the two, hey, you're going to come up to the top floor, and the top floor is going to go down to the bottom floor.
Yeah. And I appreciate you saying, like, the premium cannabis community, right? I mean, you won't get this at a bodega. What I'm holding in my hand, you will not get it at a bodega. You will not get the quality, you will not get the attention. You will not, you just won't, right? And I've been to many bodegas. I've been to many smoke shops and whatever, and the stuff is like, it's bottom basement stuff. A lot of it is, right? Not all of it, but a good part of it. Similar to saying,
I do think that there's a difference
yeah,
with between, like I said, between the dude who's selling shit on the street corner and the premium side out there. I think that a lot of what you purchase at dispensaries falls into that premium side of things because one, it is a regulated product. It has undergone immense testing, just like the tobacco has gone through, and the amount of time and effort that is put into the blending process, into the manufacturing process is just it's just as much as it is within a cigar, and again, I'm smoking a cigar, so I am I am one that wants camaraderie between the smoking communities, because I think that there's a lot of there's that elitist mentality from a lot of primary cigar smokers out there that look down on anything if it's not cigars. Just like Cuban guy, it's not a real cigar unless it's Cuban, But I think that I think that there are certain levels.
I agree, and I mean, and I've seen it many times away. Yes.
Is this a dispensary product or a lounge shop product?
It's kind of both, it's kind of both. So it's you can buy it in a dispensary and you will feel like you're in a lounge when you're smoking it, right? So we do, we sell wholesale. We sell to, we don't sell to a lot of cigar shops just because of the education, right? I mentioned before, education has to happen. You got to understand it, got to understand where you're at. But, we do sell to some dispensaries. And of course, we're looking to get into lounges and things like that. But, again, this is not the type of product that's going to have your patrons, getting high, right? They're not going to be wigging out or whatever. They're just not going to be doing that. And again, that goes with the premium cannabis versus, stuff that you get at the bogue. Yeah.
The stuff we had growing up.
Oh, man. Brick weed, baby. Brick weed all day long. You just,
all stems.
Oh yeah, well, you always had the three piles, right? You had the sticks, the sticks of the stems, the seeds, and then the actual weed. Right?
I know, like you call your plug up because you're like I'm looking for a little something, and then you pay, and then you realize after you got home that man.
This is some
all
bullshit.
Stems and leaves in here, man. There's no real nugs.
Right, exactly. And then you ask yourself, you're like, well, can I plant some of these seeds? like what would that take, right? I had a couple buddies of mine try to grow some weed out of there.
So on your product, what is your market retail price in normal lounges? I mean, I'm sure it varies from state to state because each state has a different tax level on the cannabis.
Yeah. So, I mean, we go with, in terms of anything hemp derived, we start at our typical prices around $50 to $75, right? For a stick, retail, right? Retail. Obviously, we don't sell that. That's not what we sell it as wholesale. But then, it can go, when it's just hemp derived, that's like $50 to $75, dollars. If it gets into with cannabis, marijuana, then you start going up. You start going up if we're in dispensaries and things like that. We mostly sell because of where we started in the whole entire industry. We mostly sell CBD, CBG, or hemp related products, right? That's what you're smoking, right? That's what Key is smoking right now. She's actually smoking a hemp related product, right? So it's a little bit of CBG. So this is CBD, a little bit of Delta 8, I think some regular CBG. And what else is? Yeah, that's it for that one. For that,
I can,
real smooth, real, gives you a little bit of a lift, but it kind of keeps you right there.
Yeah,
right?
She's got a smile on her face.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, and so I mean, it's affordable. We didn't want crazy pricing. This like just like ridiculous thing it's unattainable, right? It's absolutely unattainable. You can't get, you just can't get next to it. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Thank you, Ray. I appreciate that. Love to connect with you. Absolutely love to connect with any cigar brand or manufacturer. Love to connect with you all, just because I think that this is, you know, you look at the demos. I always say this, and sorry, I'll get a little technical with it. You look at the demos of, the younger generation, right? I'm in my 40s, so the younger generation, right? They are, they're doing things differently, right? The cigar bars are different. They have a different feel to them. People aren't smoking cigarettes as much, right? They're doing a little bit of vapes, definitely doing cigars, but they're definitely doing cannabis, right? And so it's that interesting mix that's really starting to happen. And you'll see someone smoking a spliff while someone else is smoking a cigar, and someone's doing a vape, right? It's really interesting. It's really,
Yeah,
really interesting.
the and I think some of that with this younger generation is trying to figure out what they prefer.
Yeah.
But I think they're far more into vaping than they
Yeah.
are into cigars or cigarettes.
Yeah, I do agree
They're
with you.
far more into weed than they are. But I think there's very few that are into weed, the premium side of weed.
Yeah.
They're more so off onto that dank side.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
How high can I get? How high can I get?
yeah, they're out there trying to hit up Dr. Dank.
Yep.
On that. They're not really looking for the experience. And I think that's what makes what you have stand out is you're providing, just like the cigar provides an experience, you are providing an experience to a person who wants to enjoy a cannabis related product and it not come across as if they want to keep it on the DL that it's cannabis, they can, because again, I can tell straightforward, everybody in the chat, the room does not smell like cannabis at all. The aromatics off of what Key's been smoking are fantastic. I would never have guessed that this is that she was smoking. You would think I would have thought if I didn't know what this was, she's smoking a cigar.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
That's
beautiful. That's exactly what we want, right? That's exactly what we want. How are you feeling now, Key?
She's speechless. She's speechless. It's a good thing.
Nice.
I think that's a testament to the chef. That compliments to the chef, sir.
Thank you. Yeah. So but I'm with you, man. It's more of an experience. That's what we're really focused on. The experience that you're having, right? Versus just kind of going, going into the high range, going into that, right? And that's the premium cannabis side. And that's what I can tell you is just not been, I haven't seen that much out there. There are some brands that are out there that I'm definitely very happy about that, they're in the premium cannabis range or they're looking at premium cannabis. But, when you get into it all, premium cannabis is really it. I mean, I know you've had like, I know you've had, cigars like kind of bodega cigars, right? And you know what you get. And it's like this has a flavored tip, and it's all weird, and it's like, why does this taste like, cognac? Like what are we doing? But and that's fine. I mean, that's there's a market for that. That's just not the market we're playing.
No, I think you're playing. Like I think you're playing in that big league level, honestly. Out there, because it I look at it when people have an idea because there's a problem out there. It's how can we remedy the problem? And
Right.
I think you found a solution to a problem that's out there for most likely the casual cannabis smoker.
Right.
And I think this is something geared towards them because it's going to be more so what they're looking for.
Right.
But for the seasoned smoker, I think I don't know. I mean, would you buy this if it was at a shop?
I definitely would.
There you go. So she'd buy it, and there you're talking to a seasoned stoner there
There you go.
on that. So, but for I think for the younger smoker out there on the cannabis, for them, this isn't a product for them. I don't think it's something
Yeah.
that they'd be interested in. They're more so looking to call Dr. Dank. That's
Yeah,
what
they are. That's what they want, and that's all they want. That's all they want. I mean, and that's one part of the market, right? This market is huge. This market is huge, and one day they will allow cannabis to be a part of cannabis and tobacco to be combined, and that will bring on another part of the market.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think.
So I mean, yeah, we're coming out. So right now we're just solely focused on getting the word out, getting education, helping people out, understanding it, perfecting it, because this is an always evolution. I mean, cigars have been around for ages and ages. I mean, cannabis cigars have just really entered onto the scene, right? And so there's we're working on perfecting it, in terms of our pack, in terms of our wrapping, in terms of everything, right? How it smokes, everything. Yeah, so it's
I like the tube. I like the tubo.
thank you. Thank you.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Again, I like cigars that come in tubos too. It adds a to me. I think I'm getting something sophisticated when I get a stick out of tubo, like Xenos.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm buying. Look, hey, this is a $30 cigar, and I get this gorgeous tubo that it comes in.
Yeah.
Pinky's out when I smoke this.
That's it, brother. That is it, man.
Yeah.
That is it. No, it's
she lit up that other one. She had to taste it.
Oh, okay, good. So
She said for research purposes.
Oh, wow. And again, I told you, right? I mean, even if you're like, you know what, if it starts like
that babe.
Say again?
She's upset. I'm putting all her business out there.
I'm trying to enjoy my nice stick in peace. I will tell you how I'm feeling.
I can tell how you're feeling.
Yeah, I can
Smile on your
tell.
face. It's not often you have that, so it's and we can see it. It's nice.
No, that's good, and that's a sign that
I really recommend them.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we're just we're happy about it, man. We're really happy about it. We know that, and we appreciate all the, truly appreciate it. Appreciate the opportunity to present it, because it's a new category. It's really a new category out there.
I do, and I think you've really hit on something great in the premium line of things of the cannabis out there. How many states are you in currently?
So we can deliver anywhere throughout the United States with our normal hemp cigar, right?
Okay.
Our normal hemp cigar, which is what which is what Key is smoking right now. We can go anywhere in the United States, right? We are currently selling the cigars the cannabis cigars in Maine and Arizona right now. So those are where two kind of random places, but we had a good connection there, and we're like, let's do this. Yeah. But obviously we're looking to expand, and the greatest thing is that we can give an introduction to the product in any state, right? So if you're a bar, a lounge owner, or whatever, and you really want to offer a premium product to your parties or to individuals, and the greatest thing is you can store it. Ideally you can keep it in the tube, right? In the tube, that's all good. Or either you can put it in a humidor. Well, I mean, it does. It requires a little bit of adjustment to a humidor, but if it's in the tube in a humidor, it's been perfect. It'll just
now going into the humidor. Is there going to be any cross contamination?
Not really. I mean, what I've seen like if you take it out and so if you take it out and it dries out, you're going to start seeing like flakes come out of it, right? You're not necessarily going to you're not going to taste the you're not going to taste cannabis on your tobacco, right? Because tobacco is a much heavier, it's a denser, heavier,
Yes.
all right. And the key thing is with the tobacco, it's a full leaf, right? Or ideally, that's what you're smoking. You're smoking full leaf. Ours is broken up, so if anything's going to happen, you're going to get a little bit of that tobacco notes into the cigar, into the cannabis cigar,
Okay.
so it could be an intern. I have not tried it actually, but a friend of mine told me, he's like, yeah, I threw them in there because I didn't want the tube, and he's like, yeah, it kind of actually tasted a little bit like some of my other cigars. I said, yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense.
So, are you looking at possibly expanding into doing uh, a hemp wrap or your CBD wrap onto a tobacco?
I would love to, but right now, this is again the government, right? Can't do yeah, you can't do it. It's can't mix cannabis with tobacco. I think, look, the best cigar, I would say the best formulation would be what we have right here, wrapped in a tobacco leaf.
Oh yeah,
It would be phenomenal.
I'm pretty sure it would be.
Yeah,
Because there's so much you can do out there with
tobaccos. Yeah,
the different wrappers that are
yeah,
available out there. Taking a San Andreas wrapper, the that nutty, chocolatey,
yep,
sweet earthiness of a San Andreas wrapper, and mixing it in with the this with the weed cigar, I think would be phenomenal.
yeah, exactly.
My interest in this has been really piqued.
Yeah,
Because my curiosity on this is, when I sitting back and smelling it and going, man, how'd they get that smell? And
yeah,
that, like I'd be more curious just to go to the the blending and the science behind it,
yeah,
into a cannabis factory, and how do you do this? Because
yeah,
I mean, for me, I'm curious about that. You
yeah,
know, and that just comes from the cigar side of things
yeah.
for me.
Yeah, so it's a lot of science and a lot of trial and error, right? I mean, we have a certain drying process, so we get all of our hemp comes from Oregon, right? So we have a farmer out there. She's amazing. It's a family-owned farm. Her grandfather owned it. She owns it now. Her son is taking over it. It's amazing. She is a phenomenal woman, a force to be reckoned with, right? She gets us our stuff, and so when we ship it over, we first have a process of we dry it, right? So there's a drying process it's not for long. It's about a day, just to get it to the right moisture content that we want, right? Oddly enough, what we a lot of times will do is we'll add like orange peels into the bag. So we break up all the bags, throw in orange peels into there, and just kind of let the orange peels give it that moisture, the right balance of moisture, right? Then from there, then we actually grind it up to two very different sizes that give us that even balanced smoke, right? So it's not just everything's a uniform size, right? We have actually two different size of flour that is being ground up. All right, the bits are being ground up, right? We don't grind up the seed, well, we have no seeds, but we don't grind up the stems. We don't keep any of that stuff. If there's like a minute amount, and we only do the minute amount because that helps it dry out a little bit, right? Because at some point in time, it starts getting very, especially when it's in the tube and it's with the moisture pack and all that other stuff. So again, we like go through this whole entire process, and it takes, for any cigar to come about, it takes about 7 to 10 days to really, for it to be called complete. So a lot of times what we do is, if someone says, oh, I need 50 cigars, we're like, okay, so if you needed them tomorrow, that might not happen, right? If you need them in a week, we got you, right? If you need them like right now, well, then we have a process in which we dry quicker, you know, it's not ideal. We don't always like it, but you know, if that's what the customer.
That fascinates me. 7 to 10
Yeah.
days to make that, and 3 to 5 years for
Yeah.
this. That fascinates me on that.
Yeah.
I would have thought that the process would have been longer. Personally.
Yeah.
It's a longer process, but it's not. So
No. It's because tobacco, you need it to be drier. It needs there's like a, because you're not grinding it up, you keep the original properties, right? You're keeping those original properties in.
Yeah, and you're not letting the cannabis ferment like you are with tobacco.
Right.
So you're cutting that process. You're cutting 2 to 3 years off that process by not allowing for the fermentation.
Yeah.
So fascinating. You know, that just fascinates me on that. That, in all honesty, I would have, if you would have told me, oh yeah, from start to finish, that's 8 months, I'd be like, wow, that sounds about right. But 7 to 10 days, damn,
Yeah.
that's fascinating.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so fascinated by that.
Yeah, tobacco is great when it's aged. Cannabis is great when it's young.
Okay.
You don't want it too. I mean, not too young, but you don't want it. You want it. You want it just the right. Yeah, this is going the wrong direction.
Not Wander Franco in here, everybody.
Yeah. So you want it the right age. You want it the right right maturity. God, well, let's switch topics.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's awesome. I mean, I just learned something. That I was unaware of that. I guess I never really knew how long the process was on it from the time you get it to the time you manufacture. I always thought it was a longer process, but. Yeah. No, that's awesome. I mean, it's a good thing to know.
Yeah, I mean, some people really. I mean, the greatest thing about cannabis, you can keep it as long as you treat it properly. You can keep it for quite some time, right? You can keep it for, months, really. But the issue with cannabis is it changes, right? So, like, you can have a CBD flower, right? If you keep it long enough, it will actually change. It could change into CBN. It could change into these different cannabinoids over time as it ages. So it's all about really, like, it's I don't want to say it's a sensitive plant, because it truly is a weed. It can grow anywhere, right? But it's definitely, like, in its whole form or in its ground up form, it changes. The properties change, and you want to capture it kind of at the right moment. And it's very much similar to wine, right? It's like you want to catch it at the right time. Scotch, another perfect example. I don't really drink wine. I mean, Scotch is like, you got to hit it at the right moment, and then it's like the perfect thing. It's like, God's gift to us, in many ways.
Yeah.
It was a spider.
Yeah, it was a spider. It's not. Now it's not a spider.
Uh-oh.
That's right.
And that was a big one too.
Yeah, I know it was a big one.
So I'm like,
Oh no!
What the hell happened? Well, I look down and all I hear is a scream.
She torched the spider.
Oh wow!
And then it started running on fire.
Oh well, that's arachnophobia. Remember that movie?
It's good. I stomped him out. He's on the bottom of my shoe now.
He's good.
I know it was a big spider, and then you lit it on fire. You had a fire spider running right at me.
Yeah, it does remind me of arachnophobia.
Yeah, I'm not scared of spiders, but I am when one's coming at me on fire.
Yeah, shit, I would be too. I would be scared of any animal running at me that's on fire.
I mean, this has been so informative. Like, I learned a lot tonight, and I understand that this may be a controversial topic for a lot of people, for cigar purists out there, this may have not been a show for you, and I understand, and that's totally cool, but as I stated earlier, I consider those that are in the premium cannabis side of things part of the smoking community, and I think that they they contribute just as much to the smoking community as pipe smokers, rolly smokers, cigar smokers do. And I know that the purists out there and wherever, and I'm sure that there's some in the cannabis world as well,
Absolutely.
that look down on, if it's not cannabis, it's not a real smoke. I get that, but I think that you guys play a pivotal role in the smoking community. And I think on the premium cannabis side, there that there's this shared brethren that we have as smokers that enjoy the craft, the hobby, the chill out, relax. And I think that you're just as much part of the community as anybody else who enjoys smoking premium products.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, D. I really do.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't see any, look, and I get it, and it may not be your bag. Look, if you're not big, that's totally fine, man. I don't partake, and that's on my part, mainly because I do get randomly drug tested all the time at work. So,
yeah,
so
that
I do enjoy my job, so I don't want to run that risk,
right,
on that. But I if I didn't get drug tested, trust me, I would be just as big into that as I am into cigars because it fascinates me.
Yeah.
The science behind it, the taste. I would totally be into it, but I wouldn't be into the stoner side of all of that. Just it more so just the figuring out the blending on it and the science behind the smoke is what I would be fascinated with.
Yeah. No, and I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I mean, it's it takes some time, and cannabis is finicky, right? I mean, it's finicky, just like tobacco is, right? It's a finicky product. It's organic. It's still living, even though it's taken off of its off of its roots. It's
volume.
It's still very much a living organism, and you gotta you gotta play with it, and you gotta understand it, and you gotta work with it. And so we try, like with all of our products. I mean, from the topicals to the bath soaks to the muscle rubs, everything. We are constantly trying to improve ourselves to really just provide a great product for our end consumers, right?
I think you've done a good job on that. The young lady sitting next to me over here is definitely a very happy consumer.
Good.
She's still smoking. Which one do you like better? You like that wrap, or do you like the hemp wrap better? Which one do you like? She likes the hemp wrap better.
Got it. Yeah.
She's having phone issues. So, yeah.
It's all good.
The hemp wrap. All right, there you go.
The hemp wrap. So I get one for the hemp wrap. Okay.
Very nice, smooth, slow burner. I would definitely buy it.
You've got a new consumer in her.
Perfect.
Me too. It's like, it's not an everyday smoke, but it's like something if you wanted to go on vacation and take with you. So you don't have to take like the weed with you, you know what I mean? This would be something you could take with you and get away.
Yeah, well, that's the travel humidor. Because let me tell you, you put the travel humidor, two of these in the travel humidor, right? You're good.
Yeah.
You're good. Life is good. Whoops. Life is very good.
Yeah, it's there, and that was one of the most mature responses I have ever heard come out of your mouth.
What was that?
What you just said.
About taking the weed too.
No, that it's not an everyday smoke. That this is something on an enjoyable smoke. That when you want to chill out, I like that response because it's the same with cigars. Some certain cigars are just there for certain occasions.
Absolutely, they are.
Good cigar. It's worth sitting and chilling. It's worth saving.
Oh,
All
It's a
right.
worthy cigar.
Like I would say, this is
Or
for Christmas time or like Thanksgiving time.
Yeah.
Christmas and Thanksgiving. Okay.
Sitting around with family, it's getting a little. It's get.
Let's say
Look, this.
I'm thinking,
Sorry.
light that up. Sheesh.
Say that again. What she said?
she said, you light that up before you have Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner,
Yes.
and
Yes.
then you eat. It's gonna put you out.
Yes. It will.
It's the perfect before dinner smoke.
Yes. Because you won't have any uncomfortable political conversations over dinner. You will just be relaxing.
That's right. You don't have to worry. You're mixing the marijuana with the tryptophan from the turkey.
There you go.
There you
Everyone
go.
will. There you go. Then you watch the game, and nobody's arguing. I
This
always
has
say,
been awesome and fascinating. Um, I'll hand it over to you. What would you like to promote?
yeah. So really, I mean, we obviously, please visit us at marybrands.com. We have a variety of different products that we sell. All of them are, really organic, health related. I mean, a perfect example is, we have this muscle rub, which is really our body oil, which is infused with CBD. It's great for, post workout, things of that nature, as well as for, as we get into, as we get into, that's okay. The winter months, we have some CBD lip mask oil, lip mask, right? So you put it on your lips for dry lips, and it's amazing how great it works. Everything we do is really just trying to elevate and educate people about cannabis in everyday kind of living, right? It's not about the high, it's about the experience. It's about, everything that we've talked about with the cigar. That's really what we're trying to do at the MaryBrands, to really, class up and really go the premium cigar route. So please visit us at Bogey Cigars or marybrands.com. We do we have a variety of products that really can address all the different needs and moods and things that you would need throughout the day or throughout a day or a week.
I look. It's something that I'm sold on.
Thank
As
you.
I'm not a consumer of it, but it's
Yep.
something that I've done a lot of research on. My dad suffers. My dad is suffering from dementia, and
Mm,
so I have done the research on the type of on the different types of cannabis that work for him to control his mood from the
yep.
dementia,
Yeah.
and it helps him.
Yeah.
It's something that I'm sold on because of the medicinal purpose side,
Absolutely.
because of I did my research. I took him to the dispensary. I told them what I was looking for, and
Yeah.
they got him fixed up with a gummy blend
Yeah.
that works for him
Yeah.
and helps with stabilize that mood caused from the dementia.
Yeah. And that's the whole thing. That's the beauty of cannabis, right? And the beauty of it is that when whatever works for you, cannabis can be a tool within the tool belt, right? So there's pharmaceuticals that are needed, especially with dementia, that I understand, but then there's these other aspects that you don't actually need pharmaceuticals for. You can utilize cannabis in that works for you, like, to use your words, right? So that
Yeah.
works for you, and that's the beauty of it. There's been people who in a previous company I was with, we were doing not candies, we were doing gummies and candies, and we were doing gummies, and the gummies that we had a certain cannabinoid that really just helped you sleep. However, what we found out from talking with one of our customers, this candy helped her get off of arthritis medicine, right? Or this gummy, sorry, helped us get off arthritis medicine. So there's different types of formulations, and if you take it from the standpoint of this is medicine, it's plant medicine, it's organic, there are many options that you can utilize cannabis for beyond just getting high, right? Like,
Oh yes, and I agree, and
yeah,
I think that when used correctly and used, when used for medicinal purposes, I think that it's very helpful for people out there. I know people who have insomnia that have a special blend that they worked with us, with a bud tender and a scientist to create that
Yeah.
helps alleviate the insomnia so they don't have to take those expensive pills
Yep.
to try and sleep. I think there's a lot of benefits when used correctly. And I think it's with anything out there,
Yeah.
out there, if you use a natural remedy correctly,
Yeah.
the benefits are phenomenal for
Absolutely.
health. And I'm completely behind using those approaches instead of using drugs.
Yeah.
And as much as people want to talk about, well, cannabis and marijuana, it's a drug. When used improperly, yes.
Absolutely.
But just like with the pharmaceutical companies and the medicine they put out, used inappropriately, it's a drug.
Right. It's a drug.
Look at
Exactly.
the opiate
Exactly.
crisis that we have.
Yes.
It's used improperly.
Yes.
But cannabis used properly and figuring out what works for you and what percentages work and doing the research. It requires research on your part, just
It
not
does.
trial and there is trial and error, but you've got to do research for yourself. What are you looking for? What is your ultimate goal to get? And for
Yeah.
my dad, it was to try and stabilize that mood
Yeah. Yeah.
that the dementia puts him in to as a mood stabilizer. And
Yeah.
it was a little trial and error in trying to find the right percentage gummies
Right.
and the right blend that worked
Yeah.
for him. And I think we found something for right now that works.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna have to alter it as it progresses. But I think that, trying to get a little bit of normalcy back into him is important.
Is important. And you know what? The thing is, like what a lot of doctors have said, look, you take these pharmaceuticals, they're very hard on the liver, hard on the kidneys, right? There's a lot of processing. I mean, the difference is with cannabis is, it doesn't have that type of effect in terms of like detrimental aspects of your body. Yes, any foreign substance being introduced, yes, there's going to be some sort of it. But one of the things that we're doing now, just to kind of promote that education, and what I'm really excited about is we started talking to cannabis educators, right, throughout the world. So I had 3 conversations today alone, a person from New York, a person from Israel, and another person from Brazil, talking about cannabis throughout the world, and really not talking about it from the high, not talking about, certain products, but talking about it and saying, like, what are the medicinal aspects of cannabis and how can cannabis specifically help you in these ways, right? If you have anxiety, how can it help you through anxiety? If you can't sleep, if you have joint pain, I mean, I would say athletes, like I call out to all my professional athletes out there, cannabis can help. It can help reduce a lot of these pains where you don't have to go into, the heavy medicines. Because you said it, opioids. Opioids are horrible. Why? Because one, they're cheap and they're way too well, found everywhere, right? And there's a whole political conversation around that, which I won't step into, but it is unfortunate. I can tell you here on the East Coast, we look in many, many places within New Jersey, where I'm located, and New York and upstate New York specifically, opioids have destroyed communities.
Oh, it's terrible.
It
It's
is
terrible out there. The intentions of it are good when used properly, but improper use, well, that's just like with anything, is bad for you. And
exactly.
again, I'm not saying I don't say take that I support the use of drugs or on that, but I think that yes, people do abuse cannabis, and cannabis is, I don't think, but a lot of it, I think, is due to lack of education and
Yes.
lack of knowledge, that more so than anything else. But used properly for medicinal purposes, out there is beneficial, and I think
Yeah.
it's far more beneficial. Uh, like you're talking about inflammation and inflammation pain, far more beneficial on that, especially with the oils and the creams,
Yep.
than doping yourself up with opiates and lidocaine.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. That's not going to. I mean, it's never going. You're never going to. It's only going to get worse and worse and worse and worse.
It
Really,
is,
like,
and I think it's a real conversation out there that needs to be had. And it does. You can still be that anti-drug, but I think that with proper knowledge that's out there,
yeah,
uh, I think that it may sway some people who
yeah,
maybe look. My dad was always anti-drug,
right,
100%. A guy who was an educator for 40 years.
right,
You know, but when he started, when he started, when he was looking for alternatives, when they were trying to get him off the pain meds,
right,
he did his own research on that, and he got into it.
yeah,
He got into finding what works, making his own cream, making his own,
yeah, great.
making
That's
his
great.
own stuff out there.
Yeah,
And then he got away from it. A few years ago, he got away from doing it and going back onto the pain meds.
yeah,
But you know, he was I think it was far more beneficial for him on that. And once he did it, because as an educator, he's going to want to learn, and
right.
he went to classes that they offered, the state
Yeah,
of New Mexico offered
yeah.
on it. So
That's beautiful. And look, there's a lot of brands. I mean, we're working with the brand Kasi, CAASI. We're actually working with them, and we're going to be really taking over their manufacturing. Who's that? Creative Corner. Hello.
what's going on?
Uh,
That is Anthony from the One to One Mini Podcast Project.
oh, wonderful. Nice to meet you,
He
Anthony.
is the guy who drew that portrait of me.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's awesome. I like that. Um, yeah, so we're working with a handful of brands that we've heard the stories about people making their own products, right? Making their own solution to their problems, right? Which is beautiful, because in talking with a lot of these cannabis educators, what they're telling me is like, look, we have an opportunity now to really educate and really help people through this process, right? Because there's a lot of physical pain, there's a lot of mental pain. You think about the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
I mean, being shut in for 6 months is not healthy. And there's a lot of, we still see it even today. Like, there's a lot of people that are going through, a PTSD type of thing. And I'm not saying cannabis is the solution to everything. I'm not that person. But I,
Come on, man.
yeah, dude, you can, like, come on, man, like, stop. Okay, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's like whatever. But I am definitely saying, hey, this can be used as a tool, right? And so I like to look at it like, arnica, right? For pain. Look at it like aloe vera, right? Or aloe for moisture, right? It's a tool that can be used to help you achieve your health goals. And that's really what we're focused on, right? So our conversation with different cannabis educators that are out there, we're looking to have just conversations with them about, what is cannabis? What is your philosophy on cannabis education? What is it? What's unique about your cannabis education, so that people can see, oh, there's resources out there,
Yes.
right? You got to have education. You got, because the average person, or at least the way we see it, is not going to go into a dispensary immediately. It's going to take a little bit of time. So what we're trying to do is give you that on road, that on ramping into, utilizing our conversations to bring you into an understanding of what cannabis can do for you, right? And it can do, it can do a lot of things. It can't do everything. Again, it is not going to solve everything.
No, no. But I think it's a great discussion to have
Absolutely.
out there, and you know, uh, I I think you've put out a fantastic product. I mean, you already had a happy customer who
Good.
enjoyed it. And again, this isn't Dr. Dank stuff. This isn't
No.
what you're buying from a plug on the corner. This is premium cannabis. I mean, this
Yes.
is high end, and it's not cheap, but
No.
it is an experienced smoke. And I
Yes.
think that's important to put on there, that you're purchasing something for an experience. It's not an everyday smoke.
Mm-mm.
It's an experience smoke. So if you dabble in cannabis, or you yourself are a cannabis smoker, is something I would tell you, based upon Key. It's as she said, it's a great smoke. She enjoyed it. It's smooth, and it's definitely something that she would smoke on certain occasions.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's I think that's high compliments.
Thank you. No,
Personally,
I appreciate it. I truly no, and I agree with you. I agree with you. I appreciate it. To make it special, it's not bodega smoke. This is not, as
it's
you
not
said,
bodega smoke. That's right.
it's bodega smoke. And we've never wanted to be that. And I think we achieved that. Even as you look at this, I mean, it's just still going. It's a beautiful ring. We're really proud of the product. And we're very
It
happy.
is,
And we're happy to
and
share it with you and your audience.
again, I didn't smoke it, but I did smell the aroma that's coming off. It does not have that weed smell to it. And in reality, watching Key smoke that, and the aroma, I would have thought she was smoking a cigar. So that I think is a
Yeah.
big plus out there for some people who may not like that smell. Definitely had you you won't know. I mean, you won't know that they're smoking marijuana.
Yeah. I
Man,
appreciate
this
that,
was
brother. I
awesome
really do.
show. Man, I
Yeah.
loved having you on. I learned an awful lot
Thank you.
tonight, and appreciate. I love talking to you. This was a fantastic show.
Great.
Uh,
I appreciate the time. I really do. I really do. I
uh,
appreciate your time. I
the
appreciate you bringing us on.
marybrands.com to go pick up,
Yeah.
if you're interested in wanting to make purchases of the cigars, or any of the balms or creams that are available. It's all on there.
Yeah.
You can reach out to Michael, if you want to shoot him a DM over on Instagram.
Yeah.
Out there, if you got any questions, super knowledgeable guy. I think if you're looking for something specific or have questions, he'll be more than happy to help you, because he's an educator. He wants to make sure that you get fit with what you need, that's right and appropriate.
Yeah. I appreciate it. Well, thank you. I
Next Monday
appreciate it.
night, my guest canceled, so I don't know what we're doing next Monday night. I may just do something. May throw a giveaway on. I don't know. I may just come on and bullshit for an hour and a half. I don't know. I don't know. You all know me. I'll figure out something to do. Raw cigar reviews was supposed to be tomorrow night, but we had to make a change. So next Tuesday night, we'll be back. Anthony will be my guest co-host over on my IG Live, and we have Panor Cigars will be our featured cigar for Raw Cigar Reviews. That goes down at 7 p.m. Mountain, 9 p.m. Eastern on my IG Live feed. Out there, remember to go hit up ZyphyCigarAccessory.com. Use promo code 505CR to save yourself some coinage at checkout, and be on the lookout on their website and Amazon page starting in October for a huge sale that they're running on all of their products, man. They got some fantastic stuff out there. Go take advantage of it. Go buy yourself something nice, a nice carrying case, lighter. They got everything that you need for the smoker in you. And that is it for tonight, guys. Thank you all so much. Michael, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate
All right.
you.
Everybody take care. Be safe out there. Key says bye. She had to go in and take care of the baby, so she is not out here with us anymore, but she did text me and said, tell everybody I said peace. So
right.
Key says bye to everybody. All right, guys, take care. Be safe out there. Don't do anything Michael and I wouldn't do because we're sweet and innocent boys, and we will catch you next time around. All right, everybody.